Hi guys, I am back with a new video, and this is my video for the Next Face Awards entry, and so I'm just going to get started real quick. So I'm using my Revlon Color Stay concealer, but I'm using my CoverGirl brush because I don't really like the sponge on it, and I'm just covering up a little bit of breakouts I have. This is optional, you do not have to do this, but if you feel like you want to, then go ahead. So, excuse the sparkles, those you're gonna need later. Don't know why they're all over my face. But this is what we're going to be making, a CD and skin, so it makes it look like the CD was thrown and got in the skin. And you want to take a regular CD and cut into like a curve, like a moon shape. And then you just want to find the place you want to put it, and you can mark it. But I ended up like, yeah. And I had these CDs from my mom. She brought them home from work, but you can get CDs anywhere. I was gonna do one on my shoulder, but I ended up not doing it. I just thought it'd be better that you'd see it on my face more than my shoulder. But basically, you can use the same technique you're gonna learn here and do one on your shoulder or wherever else. So you want to file the edges so they aren't as sharp, and file part of where you cut it down so it's not so jagged, so it's more comfortable on your skin. And you're gonna need cotton swabs, not swabs but pads, and you want to cut them in half. And this is way different from the last time I did this, and it seemed to be more effective than just building up toilet paper. And what I did is I flipped it around and used the cotton part with my liquid latex that I got from Spirit Halloween and a cotton swab, and I just went on the edges and part where I cut and just line it with liquid latex, and then I just applied the cotton swab. And it'll take about probably like a full cotton pad, not swab. And then I decided to put a piece of toilet paper over it just to make it more seamless and skin-like. So basically you're just going to do that to all of them. So now that I got both of them done, I am going to just put a little bit of latex on and where I marked it so I know. And I'm just gonna stick it there, and you want to press down firmly. Since this had a lot of liquid latex on it, it tended to be able to stay there well enough. And now you're gonna need some tissues, and I cut them in strips. And I made it so the silver was facing down, so when people walk up they see the silver and not the blue. And now this is where you take your liquid latex and you want to make sure you get around all the edges so it's nice and in place. Obviously the ends are the hardest because they're more pointy and sometimes they aren't made to your natural curve. So this is where I take the toilet paper and I'm just gonna put a little bit more, basically like an adhesive, like a band-aid. You're just trying to close the seam so it doesn't fall off. And I'm just going to do this all around. If you end up going over your eyebrows, you can seal up the part where it's going to be covered with glue or whatever you prefer, Vaseline or something. But I didn't go that far to my eyebrow, and it was just full. It was going to be covered with blood, so I didn't need to adhere it. And this, I'm just going to go up on top because people will be seeing the top of it too, so you want to make sure what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. And when you do this, it's going to look like your flesh is like sitting on it, and like since it's impaled in your head and face, you want it to look really real. So now I'm just taking little pieces and making sure that I have the edges stuck down. This is a problem I had last time because they wanted to not be able to stay down, and this actually helped them stay more secure and last longer, and I was able to move my head around and wouldn't fall off. And I just did the same method but with the one by my face, except I extended some of it to make it look like my lip was ripped open. And I'm taking my Almay foundation in ivory with like a brush. It doesn't matter, you could use a foundation brush. I used one of my body paint brushes and I put some on, and I just want to cover up the tissue in latex. It can be messy, it doesn't have to be neat, because you are going to be covering the latex part, the skin part I guess, with cream, makeup, eyeshadow. We're going to do some shading, and yeah. So you want to be careful though, so you're not pressing too far down, but you want to make sure you can get it somewhat covered, so in case it does show through, it won't be white. And some parts, they got a little chunky, so I decided to take my little sponge and just sponge it out around so it was in more of a neat, blended out look. And I'm just doing the same thing to the bottom one, making sure I coat it very well so no white would show through. You could also put foundation in your latex and stir it up, which I've done before, but it's not that really effective, but it is much of a more tinted look instead of clear or white. So then it would sort of dry to a skin tone finish, but sometimes it's not really works. So now I'm just taking my NYC Smooth Skin finish. I don't know why it's being blurry, but oh well. And I'm just going to take a powder brush and just set the foundation, making sure I'm not pressing too much. Now I'm taking my Beauty Gems little palette thing I got from Ulta, and I usually use my 100 palette from e.l.f., but I decided, since I have my light standing on that, I just use this. So I'm using the red, purple, and green, and browns, and like blues, just making a little like bruising and like irritation around where it was impaled. So I'm just taking different variations of colors and just blending those all around. I'm using purples just to make like a bruise effect, if you will, and just going around, making sure to be very careful because you don't want to put too much pressure because it still is sort of drying on the inside where it's connected. So yeah, this shading will also help with the blood to make some parts darker and make some parts lighter so it looks more real. So now that I finished up with that, I'm taking my cream stacks and just filling them in. I did go in with a maroon one, but I don't know where that ended up going. But anyways, you just do the same method like I did with the maroon one, but this one is red. And you just want to go around and start filling it in and making it more in depth and just making it look realistic. Just whatever your imagination desires, do it. Just think of gory cut up flesh, and if you really need to, you can look up pictures of gory I don't know. So now I'm just going to take in my black and put it in some parts just to make it more of a depth looking. And this is going to help with the blood too. It's going to make it darker, and some parts very, very, very just disgusting, which is what we are looking for. Disgusting. So now I'm going in with my foundation. You can use any foundation you use. I decided to take the same foundation I used to cover up the liquid latex and just put a nice thin layer amount. I ended up using my concealer as well, which I've been using for my foundation lately, and I love it, but I'm running out because obviously it's for concealer, not foundation, but oh well. So I want to make sure it's nice and blended out. You don't want too much patchiness. And I ended up using my concealer also as a primer, so I ended up not putting an eye primer on just because we don't want this to look so perfect, but still. So now I'm taking my Naked 2 palette, and I'm taking my lightest one, which I believe is in Foxy, and I'm just applying that all around my eyelid, as so. Then I also went in with a little bit of booty call and going over just to make it more light and shiny. Now I'm taking this old Rue Butte little glitter eyeshadow palette. I don't know if they still have these, but I got this a long time ago and I thought it'd be cool for this. So I took the red and I went into my crease, blending a little bit out. And then I've taken some black too and just mixing it together. After I got sort of the blended look I wanted, I decided to go in with my color Blackout, which you'll see in a minute. And I just darkened up the look. And I also periodically took Foxy in and was blending out, so it's more of a nice crisp blended look. That's when I took Blackout, and I just decided to darken up the look a little bit, just because you don't want perfect makeup, you just want it to be messy yet pretty. So just keep filling it to the look you want. You obviously do not have to do this eye makeup look. You can do any eye makeup you want. You could do your natural look, whatever you prefer. I just thought this looked good with it. So now I'm just adding some booty call up top with some Foxy, adding more to my lid, and just making sure everything's nice and highlighted. Now I'm taking my Physicians Formula eyeliner, and doing it on my waterline just a little bit. I do have my blue contacts in too, so, but red contacts would look really, really cool with this, or black ones. Now I'm taking my e.l.f. cream eyeliner. This obviously didn't want to focus, but I'm just gonna make a regular winged liner. I didn't try to do it so perfect because this is obviously a gory makeup, but still wanted to look pretty as well. So I'm just going in with this eyeliner, and I love this cream eyeliner, by the way. I have the liquid liner from e.l.f., which is my go-to eyeliner, and now this is my go-to cream liner, and it's only like $3, which is a bonus. I need to start trying out new cream eyeliners, but So after you finished your wing liner, I decided to skip through because that was pretty a long process for me. And now I'm just going to use my Tarte Light Camera Lashes and just fill in. You can add false lashes, which I was going to do, but in the end I decided not to. And this is where we are going to get glitterful. You can use that little tub of glitter like I showed you, but I ended up scraping the silver like film off the CDs, which made it look really cool, and I just applied it with latex and a brush, and I didn't scrape enough off, so I decided to go in with also that tub of glitter, the little tube of glitter, and apply that as well just to make it a little shiny, because this, we want it to look more like a cool killer rocker look or something like that. However you would like it to look. You do not have to add the glitter. I just like it because I think it's really cool with the CDs. You can also use spirit gum or glitter glue to apply it. I know Elf has a glitter glue that's really good for your eyes, but I decided just to use latex because it was right there in front of me. So now I'm going to go in with a deep sort of berry red liner and just line my lips that are showing. Doesn't matter if it's a little sloppy, but I just want some color on my lips. So I'm just going to fill that in a little bit. And now I'm taking this Rimmel Show Off in the color, let me see, Nude Eclipse, which is my favorite. I think this is a liquid lipstick, which I haven't really used one before, and when I got this I was kind of hesitant about it, but this, I love this. It is amazing. They have all sort of colors for this, but I love my nudes. So now it is the blood time. We are going to get gory. And I'm just going to take a brush and just paint the blood everywhere. And I'm just going to start up here. And if you have blonde hair, you might want to hold it back. I'm not sure if this stains your hair, but it did stain my face for a little bit, maybe like a day, but it's okay after because it'll just wash off soon. So I'm just coating the whole thing with blood, and then I ended up to start taking big glops of the blood and adding it to make a dripping effect, so it looks like it's like dripping down my face, which I loved. Last time I had it so it was like dripping off the CD, which you can do as well. It just depends on how you prefer it. And this is where the dripping commenced. And I just put it everywhere where I thought would look cool. The drips ended up going all the way down my face, as you'll see in the end. And I just thought it was really, really gory. Obviously, you want to make sure you have different clothes on when you're doing this, because the blood gets messy, as well as the latex. See, you gotta be careful because sometimes it drips off and you don't want to get your clothes all dirty or messy. So now I'm just gonna let the blood drip, and I want to let this dry just a bit so when you do take your hair down it doesn't get all in there. And yeah, you are done. So this is the finished look. I really like it. This looks a lot better than my first go when I did it for the corn maze when I was working in October. I just want to say thank you guys so much. please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'm hoping that I will get chosen to do Nick's Face Award. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.